I'm just looking at the clock and I realized I knew this hour would fly by, and it's been fantastic because you guys are just doing such important work. I mean, but just to wrap up as we head towards this big event, both of you have worked on science in a lot of life or death situations, whether it's predicting famine, predicting floods, helping to enrich our understanding of the climate science. So hopefully we can prevent something even more existential than any one of those individual events. But what are you most hopeful about, given this marriage of machines and data and humans towards better understanding of the planet? I'd love to hear from each of you just what you're hopeful about in the next couple of years. What can we hope to see?
Yeah. I'll take a stab at it. I mean, I think, now that I'm working as a distinguished visiting scientist with Schmidt Sciences, one of the things we're really all in on is understanding our climate system, and especially freshwater. So, as a hydrologist, we are working hard to apply all of these new data and technologies to understanding freshwater and managing it sustainably for the future, which is, such a critical problem to solve. And so I'm optimistic that it's, that the union of governments, commercial, academic, and nonprofits to solve some of the Earth's most pressing challenges is happening right now. And so, having been in the federal sector for many years, sometime in academia, I mean, it's great to see this approach now where we're all working on these problems from a science-based perspective. And so that I'm very optimistic about. I think the second thing is that the landscape of data that has changed our world, and the landscape of AI that has changed our world. I mean, it's as we move towards, Gen AI, and, at some point we will be able to solve some of these pressing problems. So I'm optimistic that, as the technology improves and it's able to scale, along with the human's ability to work with the technology and use it for good, we will be able to solve some of these problems on Earth that have plagued us for many, many years. So, that will reduce conflict and be better for everyone.
Man, well, I'm glad you're leading that charge. Makes me feel better already. Jeff, make us feel even better.
That's more than I can handle, I'm sure. But the thing that I'm most hopeful about is the fast growth in what I call insight democracy. And now there are so many more opportunities for people, like for operators and for decision makers out on the ground, to be able to get these outputs, to be able to have descriptions not only of what we think might happen in one location, say for flood or for drought over time, but then to be able to see a distribution of what the probabilities were that went into creating that estimate. So she can decide now how much risk she really wants to accept before she makes a decision to evacuate New Orleans or to cut 2/3 of a forest down for some reason or another, to be able to look for different changes, to be able to make these decisions that are protective of life safety. We want to be able to inform the decision makers with those, so that she doesn't have to have an HPC scale network behind her to be able to, and then wait 9 months for a bunch of climate projections to finish running. Mm-hmm. She doesn't even have to have a branch of physical and data scientists to help interpret things that come out. What we really want to be able to do is to push these data outputs closer and closer to the decision. And I think that we're already seeing lots of pieces of this. People have seen, I'm sure, images of folks out looking at wildfires, and they're standing there in a lot of places with iPads in their hand, and they're looking at it overhead. There are still pilotless balloons, drones that are taking samples, and that they're able to do a much better job predicting where those fires are going to go, and then helping to fight those fires at the same time. We want to move the decision makers' basket of opportunities, basket of choices, closer and closer to them in time, and it's already happening. And so that the ability to do it in the future is going to get even better. So I'm super excited about this democratizing of insight. I think it's going to be a big improvement.
I love that. That's a great note to end on. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot more when we gather together on August 18th in Alexandria, Virginia, at the 15th annual Simulation Century event at ModSimWorld. So those of you watching this, just click on the link that's there and register. And we look forward to seeing you in Alexandria and continuing this great conversation. And thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Christa. Keep doing the great work you're doing, and stay bold, brave, and benevolent, as our friend David Bray says. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Richard.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. Looking forward to the 18th.